enter an office and you need to have this umbrella. In case you have infants, it is holiday time. Many of them are still home. Ensure that as you're leaving home, they are warm. Many of the times they contract colds and all that because of the weather. I'm Robert Chirabo Nyonyito, and welcome to Good Morning Uganda Extra. Now, today we are going to be discussing something very interesting, and that is regards to intellectual property. Many times you've heard of the word intellectual property, and we wonder. People talk about protecting their works, protecting them, and more so tomorrow being the world that is Intellectual Property Day. And with me on set I have two ladies, very smart in blue, light and dark, and with whom we are going to be discussing this. I have Scovia Atigonza, who is the Officer, Search and Examination, Uganda Registration Services Bureau. On the extreme end, Atigonza, you're most welcome to our studios.
Thank you so much, Robert. I'm very glad to be here.
And thank you for making it. It is cold, but at least you've been able to make it through. I had a doubt. I'm like, oh, this rain. But well, it's happy you're here. And I have Muchala Matovu Caroline Zawede. You're most welcome to our studios.
Thank you so much, Robert.
Yeah. And she's the CEO, that is Damas Hands Enterprises. Well, when I hear the word CEO, hey, these are the brains now. We are going to be discussing a lot regarding intellectual property protection. And I want to begin with Scovia. When you talk about intellectual property, help us break down what do we mean, what are we referring to?
Thank you, Robert. So when we talk about intellectual property, we are looking at the creations of the human mind. So anything where you're using your skills, you're using your knowledge, your ingenuity, that is what IP is all about. So when you go ahead and register these rights, you get intellectual property rights. So these can be trademarks where you have logos, you have symbols, you have slogans. You can also do designs, you know, those unique bottles that you're seeing around, those can get protected. Then you have technological advancements. So when you look at people who are doing cars, who are doing radios, any kind of technological advancement can also get protection. So that is what IP is all about, or intellectual property.
Very interesting, you know, I think it's something of the mind and all that, but well defined. Now, this brings me to ask Madam CEO to tell us about her innovation and what inspired her, because this is also going to help us shape more our discussion to our viewer.
Okay, thank you. My innovation is Damas Hands Enterprise. Damas Hands is a business that deals in making shoes, manufacturing shoes, and servicing shoes. We make school shoes, gents shoes, office shoes. We make boots, we make sandals for ladies, gentlemen, and also children. What inspired me to come up with Damas Hands? It was back then in 2020 when we were in lockdown. During that time, of course, the world was shut down. By then I was employed, but I could not go to my workplace. Both the private transport and the public transport was in lockdown, and I used to watch on news, UBC and other televisions, people trekking to town, city centers, to go at least stand by the roadside, sell their goodies, and also maybe open their shops. People were moving on foot. Then I was like, oh, there is need for shoes. But remember, the shoes there was a need for shoes, and at the same time, by then, buying shoes was just a luxury. People were busy looking for food, because by then even there was a government program of giving handouts, portion and beans to people so that they could survive. Then I asked myself, how can I solve this? I came up with a product I called revamping shoes. So I kept on encouraging. First of all, I started with my friends. I used to tell them, please bring your shoes, your old shoes. I revamped them. But then I was using fabric, like bitengi. I would give that old shoe a new look. So I saw people appreciating. They were just paying me for a small amount of money for that service. Then I kept on getting that interest. I was like, okay, if I can revamp this shoe, then I can crochet. I used to use nylon threads to crochet sandals. Nylon threads are very cheap. Downtown, a roll is 2,500. By then, it was 2,500. So I would crochet those shoes, then sell them. Then I was like, really? Again, I gained more interest. You know, when you do something and people appreciate, there is a way, you know, that wow look on someone's face when you find them putting on your pair of sandals and they're like, I liked it. So I was, of course, pushed. I was like, again, man, I think I can now manufacture shoes. I went for training somewhere. I started manufacturing now shoes. Now, today, it is Damas. We deal in leather. I call it leather construction. We construct from leather. Now the real product, which are shoes, go back to school shoes, moccasins, boots, to mention but a few. So that's what inspired me.
Very interesting. Now that brings me to the question, Scovia, how does one protect their works in terms of their intellectual property? That when I find Caroline's shoe, I just don't duplicate that and wear. And when Caroline meets someone and says, but I don't remember selling this. This is specific touch belonging to me. I know I'm just making money out of her idea.
Yes, yes. So actually, that's a very good question. And that's something that I am very proud of that our friend Carol here has actually even utilized. So you can protect, she can protect her products by actually getting a trademark. And Carol here went ahead and actually got that trademark. So that trademark protects your name, the Damas itself. Meaning if I put it on my product, no one else is allowed to put that name on their products. So if you go ahead and put the name on the product, then you're infringing on Carol's trademark. So that's a protection she gets. And she can only get it through registration. So if you don't register, meaning anyone else is allowed to use your name. So it's very important that you come to the National IP Office, which is URSP. So you seek for protection. We shall examine your trademark and see that it's not similar to something already on the market. And if it's actually not similar, you'll get your right. You can even go ahead and get a design. So there are different rights that you can get. The design is for the shape of the product, the shape of the shoe. So that's something she can actually also go ahead and get. So there are different rights that are actually ingrained in just one product. You can protect different concepts and different aspects to it. So I thank Carol for taking the initiative to actually go ahead and register, because it's actually a very good thing, and I would encourage all our innovators to go ahead and seek for IP protection.
Well, Carol, now also let's understand, yes, you did the registration. Do you feel any impact? Maybe one would think, maybe this we don't want to share. Sharing is caring. We all in the world have copied something from somebody. You know, someone was telling me maybe a shoe, someone somewhere began a shoe. So what are the benefits of this?
I have quite benefited a lot from registering my trademark or my innovation. One, when it comes to the market, there is that customer loyalty. You know, just like when if I sell you my shoe, there is that logo attached to it. There is that trademark on it. You tend to stay loyal to me, meaning that you want your child at home to also put on Damas pair of shoe, your grandmother to put on a Damas pair of sandals, your uncle, there's that loyalty. So that's also one benefit. Another thing is that my products are protected from, they're called copycats. There are people, of course, imagine you can make something without any trademark. Someone else can come and put a trademark elsewhere. Yet they're riding on your knowledge, on your effort. So when you once I've produced my shoes and they have got my trademark, it's really hard for someone to go and still you will know that there was something here.
Tampered with.
Someone
produce something of less quality.
Yes.
Because that is one of the problems we find. The first time you buy a product from someone, it's very good. Then the next time you go to an outlet and you're like, oh, I use Damas. This must be.
Yes.
We have them, we have that brand.
Yes.
Yet this is someone who sat somewhere, put together low quality materials, gave you that shoe, then you say, Damas, on my wedding, I put on Damas. Now on my brother's wedding, before you enter the reception hall, the soul is already there.
It's already there. then another thing, using my trademark has given me that competitive edge in the market. You know, people trust something, a trademark. Imagine if I presented you my shoe and a certain shoe without anything. You would want to go in for that one that has a trademark, because there's a way how that trademark gives you trust that this thing is legit. So even in the market, I go there strong and bold that this is a Damas product. So those are some of really the benefits.
Of course, when it hits heights, you all want to say, I'm putting on Damas.
Damas,
There are
yes.
brands I know that people cherish.
Yes.
You know, man, that guy is expensive. The
Yeah.
perfume, the shoe, the shirt. So that is one of the things. Well, tomorrow is World Intellectual Property Day. Scovia, tell us more about this.
So yes, tomorrow is the World Intellectual Property Day. So this day is celebrated every year on the 26th of April, so which is the day tomorrow. Each year we have a different theme. So for this year we are celebrating IP and youth. So our youth here, the youth that have come up to really work hard to solve the world's problem. We've actually heard Carol's story. She's telling us how she came to solve a problem of shoes, as in she came to give us a solution to something. So there are so many of our youth who are out there working, innovating day and night. So today tomorrow we are going to be celebrating them. So we are going to look at the different youth. We are actually already profiling them. Carol is one of the people we profiled. The different innovations they've come up with, the different solutions they've given us. We'll be celebrating them and telling them how IP can actually help them improve or get that competitive edge in the market, like Carol was saying.
Yeah.
So that is what we're actually going to be celebrating tomorrow. We hope all the youth will tune in, because we'll be live on TV, we'll be having a webinar. So we hope they'll tune in and actually get a lot of knowledge on intellectual property. So yeah, that is the day tomorrow.
Very interesting, and of course I know Ugandans have very many youth that are very innovative, but most of the times their works have been taken up at no cost.
Exactly.
Yes.
You find this young man, this young lady comes up with something, a problem solving,
Exactly.
maybe an app, and later someone smart takes it on,
Yeah.
gets the intellectual properties, patents it, and at no point can they claim. When
So-
you go to the music industry, it is even worse.
Yeah.
Someone says, that was my song. Someone took it up. The producer stole it from the studio, this and that. And there's so much. I'm even told of the back cloth. That is originally a Uganda thing. Was patented somewhere. And I'm like, how can someone claim this? But we didn't do that as a country or as a culture. So very interesting tomorrow. Then this brings me back to the CEO we have in studios this morning. Tell us, what have been some of your challenges? You know, innovation has a lot of challenges.
Yeah.
And we, as a country, we are looking for young innovators who are having solutions to the current problems.
Yes. Limited capital. Limited capital. I would say it again, limited capital. Yeah, because everything that you have to do, you need money. Starting from the materials you need to use to push the product into the market. Even registration, the registration for the trademark is not free. You have to pay some money. So the biggest problem or the biggest challenge that I've encountered we as Damas Hands is limited capital. Yeah, there's so much we want to do. We are dreaming big. We are thinking of even setting up a training school where we can train fellow youth on how to manufacture or how to make shoes, because Robert, believe me, the shoe business is still virgin in Uganda. You leave alone importing shoes from abroad, from China.
Which are not long lasting sometimes.
Yes, sometimes. So if we made those shoes here in Uganda, it would be amazing, but now limited capital. Yeah, that
And
is
that
the
would
biggest.
promote Bubu.
Yeah.
Buy Uganda, build Uganda. So many Ugandans out there, let's support our very own to ensure that their capital grows, because they'll be making more money and of course more profits. And if they repatriate the profits back into the business,
Yes.
then I'm seeing Damas going global.
And another challenge, they're called counterfeits. Yes, someone will see something nice you're doing, then they'll go and duplicate it, because they are, of course, they assume you're making a lot of money, but at the end of the day, they're doing it the wrong way, and they're killing your arts, they're killing your innovation. They'll go down somewhere where I won't mention and fake your trademark. So that is also a challenge. And of course, as I've mentioned before, that there is limited capital. It's hard for you to start, chasing after them, because even to chase after them, you need money to look for them. So counterfeits is also another big challenge.
Maybe this brings me now, where do you come in as the Uganda Registration Services Bureau?
For our issue, especially the one with counterfeits, we have a very strong enforcement team. So this is an MOU we have with Uganda Police. So this team is mandated with actually following up on issues of trademark infringement. If someone knows that someone is actually infringing on their trademark, they can come and file a complaint with us, and this enforcement team will actually go on and take the infringers on. We've actually had so many cases that have been prosecuted in courts of law. So that one we're actually very serious about. So trademark infringement is something that we're really fighting hard. So, and it's something that we actually hope in the near future that most people will get to know about, that it's not, you don't just pick up someone's brand name and just put it on your product and walk away, because it's not right. Like she said, they put a lot of effort, they put a lot of money, they put a lot of skill to come up with whatever they're doing. So let us, like I said, recognize their effort. Let us go ahead and see and value what someone has done. So something relating to trademark infringement, that one we have an enforcement team to tackle.
Well, you've heard out there before, they nab you, stop whatever you're doing that is in conflict with the law. People invest, people take sleepless nights thinking, planning, coming out with these designs, and for you just copying and pasting. Moreover, sometimes having a poor quality, you're not only infringing on their rights, but also killing their brand name. Now, looking at in relation to this year's theme, where we see it is in line with the youth. What platforms have you created for the youth in this country, those innovators, to ensure that you promote innovation?
Like we say today, we are tomorrow we'll be celebrating the youth. First of all, we've actually profiled them. We are profiling them and ensuring that we recognize their works as the youth. Then after doing that, we as URSP, we are always there to support the youth. There are a lot of sensitization drives that we've actually carried out. We go to different universities, we go to different research centers. We've worked hand in hand with so many people from the business community to sensitize them about the IP, the role that IP plays in promoting innovation and creativity. So we've even gone ahead and even come up with projects. For example, we have a project with the World Intellectual Property Organization. It's called the TISC program. This program provides the youth with the technological information and their free databases that these youth can actually access. They would have been paid for. She's saying there's an issue of funds. Ordinarily, someone would have had to pay for this information, because it's very good information. It helps you with carrying out your research, knowing how far has the world gone in this area, in developing this area, so that you do not reinvent the wheel, so that you come up with something more advanced. So now they can access this information free of charge, which is actually something good that is actually going on, and so many universities have taken on, and it has actually helped them. So for platforms, URSB is always open. It's an open office. You just walk in and say, I need help with this and this, my innovation, how do I protect it, issues of development, that kind of thing. We are always available. We even have online platforms. You can easily access us. So for platforms for the youth, we have so many, and we actually encourage them to come and approach us. We'll be there to help.
Very interesting. Well, allow me to go for a short break. When we return, we'll still be discussing more regarding intellectual property, and also tomorrow being the World Intellectual Property Day, with my guests, the two ladies with whom we have a CEO of a company, but also that is an examination officer from Uganda Registration Services Bureau. We'll return shortly.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
A World Cup in the desert? The first one in the Middle East. The first to be held at the end of the year? That's crazy. Get ready for spectacular moves, high-flying saves, unbelievable goals, out-of-this-world celebrations.
Would you believe it? What a moment here!
All 64 matches live. That's over 5,000 action-packed minutes of the FIFA 2022 World Cup Qatar. Now that's crazy. Catch all the action only on SuperSport, your world of champions. On Go TV. Love it.
Total Energies has undertaken a number of initiatives aimed at ensuring that Ugandan entities and citizens are adequately equipped to participate in the oil and gas sector.
Yeah, we do manufacture and supply personal protective equipment. We supply beyond Total Energies. We supply their subcontractors. Yeah, we have seen our company transform from a trading company to a manufacturing entity. We are able to set up some of these facilities that we are enjoying right now. And these facilities also are supporting other sub-sectors. So they have no idea what oil and gas is, but the items they are using are a result of oil and gas. Overall, the industry, manufacturers, suppliers, traders will all enjoy.
Total Energies EP Uganda is committed to the empowerment of Ugandans to take an active part in the overall development of the oil project in Uganda.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
Welcome back from that short commercial break, and thank you so much for keeping it with us on this cold weather. It's a cold morning, but anyway, all Ugandans should be knowing this by now, that the Pearl of Africa has mainly two rainy seasons. You have the March to May, then of course August to December. So it is very clear, plan your movements wise, whatever it takes you, ensure rain is not an excuse. People want services. For us in the media, that is something we know. That I know someone woke up and you're eager. What has UBC for us now? Well, it is Good Morning Uganda Extra, and we are discussing intellectual property. Reminding you tomorrow is World Intellectual Property Day. And I have two ladies. One, she's the CEO of a company that deals in shoes, and the other is the examination officer. That is such an examination from the Uganda Services Registration Bureau, with whom we are discussing intellectual property. Now, Madam CEO, when we talk about intellectual property, you people in business, you're there. What has been your perception of this? Is it something that you feel really many businesses are embracing, or it is something that really hasn't sunk so much into the minds of Ugandans, or even many seeing as to why? Because a number of companies, a number of people with so much ideas, but they may, if I asked them, issues of intellectual property, apart from the music industry, I think of late they are picking up so much because of the challenges there.
Thank you so much, Robert. Truthfully, intellectual property has not yet sunk in among the business people. I must confess that before getting training, actually, I used to deal in some things. I was dealing in liquid soap, very nice soap, and I had named it Trion. I had just baptized it Trion, but I had not registered it. Then when I went to register it, that's when I discovered that someone else had already registered the business. So by then I was just dealing in a product that I was not, that was not yet.
You're enjoying products of illegality.
Yeah, yes, exactly. So most of the business people have not yet embraced intellectual property. They have baptized, I call it baptizing. They have baptized their businesses, but they have not gone ahead to go to URSB to get them registered. They have not protected what they have. So it is really, really important for the business people to come out and get their businesses registered. Yes, that's what I can say.
Atugonza, how are you promoting or encouraging people to register? Because it's another thing being the body there, offering a service, and maybe going out to let people know, or even to find them there and tell them this is a service, these are the benefits.
So as USB, we've really gone ahead to try and sensitize. We're actually embarking on a very strong sensitization drive. Like she said, she's part of a certain organization called GSWIM.
GSWIM.
Yes, so we've gone to such organizations, those business communication, GSWIM, you will, you see. So we go ahead and conduct trainings on what intellectual property is. We actually even encourage them to participate in some courses that I'm sure many have participated in. So these courses actually help them understand what is intellectual property and how they can utilize it. We're even going as far as going to the schools, because we want now intellectual property to come from that young age, so that you just don't meet it in the business community. So you start from a young age, especially in the universities. We go ahead and tell the students what is intellectual property, how do you utilize it, how can you use it for product development, how do you use it for product commercialization. So for sensitization, that is something that we've actually really embarked on, and we hope to see great success in the future.
But also, how fast or how tedious is this process? If I want to register my idea, my product, how quick does it take? Because also processes are one of the things that frustrate people, to be honest, yes.
Truthfully, I can't say it's a very tedious process, especially for something as simple, for simple things like trademarks and designs. It will cost you, for a trademark, right now it might cost you under 500, but 500,000 Ugandan shillings. But you are given a period of over 1 year. Someone might say, I don't have the resources to finish the entire process at one. You're given a period of 1 year within which you can complete that process. So you can keep on raising the money. So we grant rights, and there's a process called, a step called publication. So the publication time is what usually makes the process a little longer. Because publication, now we need to notify the public that, you know what, so-and-so has applied for a right. They need to get this right, so that we just don't grant rights arbitrarily and grant someone else's rights. So after you apply, we publish your application. So it's like for trademark, it's a period of 2 months. So within this time, anyone out there can come and lodge an objection and say, you know what, so this is my right. This person maybe took my right. So because of that long publication time, it might take around 2 months and a few weeks. But usually the process is very short. It's actually seamless. And it's something that Ugandans can actually do on their own. You don't really need to go and hire someone to do it for you. So if you actually want to do it, you can come to our office and we even guide you on how to go about it. So I don't think it's something that people should fear. It's actually something that they should embrace.
So you have no worries. You can do it yourself. Middlemen may not be a requirement. Just go there, have that done. Now, Zawede, help us also understand. When you talk of intellectual property, many believe maybe it has to be a big business. It has to be a big product. It has to have made enough money. Most of the times people will tell you, now I'm just starting. Why would I carry out this registration? My business is still small. My capital is still wanting. To what stage, in your opinion, as a business person, should one register for intellectual property?
In my opinion, I believe someone should register at the start. The moment you have your creation of the mind, that is your IP, your intellectual property, because intellectual property is the creation of the mind. Once you get your idea or your innovation, I urge you to run very fast and go get it registered. Because as you're still beating around the bush, someone will come and seize the moment and run very fast and register it. Trust me, once it's registered, it will cease being your innovation. It will be that person's innovation that has registered it. So fellow youth that are in innovation, I know there are so many youth out there that are so creative, that are so passionate, that are doing really, really, really nice things. Please run very fast and go and protect your innovation. Otherwise, there are people out there who are ready to free ride on your ideas. Yes.
And Ugandans are crafty.
Crafty.
at that, as long as it benefits. It's a good idea. I'm like, fine, fine. Then I make money and you have nowhere to cry because I will have gotten the rights before you. And I don't believe that the Atugonzas will investigate who started, who did what. Well, you didn't come to get those rights from yours.
I can also add on to something that she said. And there are even some rights that you lose if you actually put them on the market before you come and register. For example, the design. So the design says that, the law says that the design must be novel. It must be new at the point of application. So if you go ahead and publish or and start working, then you do retrospective protection. By the time you come to protect, we'll tell you, but this is already on the market. It has lost its novelty. The same is with the patent rights. If you put your innovation out there, you talk about it, you publish it, then you come and try to register at the end. Your own publication can even work against you. So protection is always better at the start. When you've started, then you go ahead and do whatever you want to do with your product.
Well said. There we believe the public gets to know that. But let's also understand, away from the youth, how have you supported innovation as the Registration Bureau? What initiatives do you have? How do you help people here to be able to have more ideas?
Like I said, as the National IP Office, we are very vital for from the point of development, from the point of protection to up to commercialization. So from development, like I said, we have those databases that will help you carry out your, carry out your research. So if you're looking at those databases, looking at all that information that is all available to you, you can actually help you, it can help you improve on your product. Even our own databases, you come and conduct searches with us. We tell you maybe this and this is already there, this and this is not there. Maybe you can try this cannot be protected. So we always, and we are giving this information free of charge. It is not charged. You come to us and we shall give you this information. So from that point, we even involve people in different programs. We involve people in sensitization drives. We try to encourage our youth. We have partnered with so many innovation hubs, universities, to try and at least train, sensitize, get them involved in some very important projects to ensure that they actually go ahead and manage to develop, manage to protect, and commercialize. Because at the end of the day, you want to make money out of your innovation. So how do you make money out of it? That is all information that we provide as URSB.
URSB doing a good work there, and of course for you, it is about you protecting your works to stop crying for. And of course, when it comes to intellectual property, throw more light. Why do we see this more, okay, business it is there. Also, I think the arts is business.
Yes.
But why is it more pronounced in the music and arts industry?
I think it might be a little pronounced because now those are celebs. Yes. So, you know, there are people who are well known. They cover a wide area in Uganda. Everyone in the country almost knows them. So that's why you'll find that maybe copyright will be known to everyone else. But now when you also go to the scientific world, you'll find that patents are well known there. Because now if you go to universities, they understand what patents are because they know they have to protect these patents. So they actually understand, depending on which community you're dealing with, different people will understand different IP rights. You'll also even, for the business, I'm sure so many understand the trademarks because truthfully, Ugandans have really embraced the trademark system. So many of them have come to register their brand names. It may not be because we don't publicize and say so-and-so applied for a trademark, so-and-so got a trademark. So many people have actually embraced this system and many are using it, but we're of course trying to push that nearly everyone in the country gets to know what is a trademark. Like we said, so that at the time of incorporation, someone knows that I should also go ahead and get this brand name.
I see now our CEO very excited when it comes to assurance that she's protected, trademark is protected. Well, better ensure that your works are protected.
Yes.
So that someone does not benefit, if I use the right word, does not benefit from your sweater. Came up with this specific idea and someone just copycats and they're making good money out of it. Well, let me have your final remarks, more so regarding intellectual property, but also to the youth and people in business there that find this next to irrelevance.
Yes, thank you. To the youth, I call upon you to, one, not to fear starting small, because many youth out there have a lot of ideas in their heads, but they believe that they need to first collect a lot of money to implement them. As I mentioned at the beginning, Damas started way back during the COVID time, and I started at home. Today, it is a company. So, fellow youth, please start small. Start with what you have. Start with that 20,000. Start with that 50K. Start with all the resources that you have at hand. Trust me, with the help of God, you grow big and big and big to something. You asked that another. So you had asked.
Yes, the other is their message for this registration.
Yes.
You know, because we know many may not take it serious.
Yes.
So as a person in business, as a person who is there, what is your message in regards to intellectual property?
Yes. Now to the business community, please go and register your businesses. Don't leave your idea hanging there saying, don't just trade that briefcase kind of thing, because if you're not registered, then who knows you, where are you? Please get your business registered, protect your idea. Some people, actually someone was telling me we had a training and someone was worried to register, that once you register, URA will come for you. It is not true, of course. Of course, paying taxes is part of our obligation as citizens. It is okay. But it doesn't mean that once you register your business, then you
just started, then taxation
comes immediately. It is not true. So, fellow business people, please go and get your businesses registered. That's what I can say. Yes.
Well, thank you so much, Caroline. That is Wedde Matovu, CEO of that is Damas Hands Enterprises. Well, your final remarks, and also more on how we can participate in tomorrow's event, because I know there are many youth that are willing to participate and, of course, understand better intellectual property protection.
Yes, my word to the youth is that the government is there for you. We're actually always willing to help. Our doors are open as URSP. Please come approach us. We'll give you all the necessary information that you need. We are always willing to guide you through the processes. Some people think they're too difficult and tedious, but we are there and willing to actually help you throughout the entire process. So please come approach us. Please come and we'll help you. Then regarding our participation with the event, tomorrow, of course, we're having the event. It will be starting at 9. It will be live on TV. Please follow. We also have a webinar. We have login details. All this is available on our different platforms. Please follow. Because it's open, it's free of charge, it's free knowledge. Please come participate. We are willing. You'll have a Q&A. You can ask all the questions you need. So I will invite everyone to actually not miss out on this event, because it will be an amazing one.
Well, I want to thank you so much, ladies. Thank you for finding time. And of course, our precious viewers, thank you for keeping it with us. And also, I believe there's something you've learned, that idea has to be protected. You must protect your works to avoid people who will benefit from something that they never actually even had those sleepless nights of coming out. Innovation takes time. Innovation is not that very easy. So you need to protect your works, and URSB is ready to help you walk through that until you have your intellectual property of that product protected. Well, tomorrow we'll be celebrating, that is World Intellectual Property Day, and like Scovia has told you, you can join in anytime and follow right from 9 a.m. I want to thank you so much. That is Scovia Tugonza, that is an officer search and examination, Uganda Registration Services Bureau, and Matovu Karins, Wedde, CEO, Damas Hands Enterprise. Thank you so much, ladies.
Thank you, Robert.
Well, have a lovely day. God bless you. See you tomorrow. Good day.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good